which we look into a scenario in which Turkey and the Balkans go to war. Balkans definitely includes Romania, former Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, and Greece. Now, Hungary and Moldova is usually not considered, but sometimes is. So I decided to consider them because, well, Turkey is pretty strong, so they need as much help as they can get. Well, let's get into it. And I'll get rid of NATO. So please enjoy. And Turkey starts two campaigns. And they start a lot of mobilization. They know they might need it in a few months. And they quickly start their advance in the Greek Thrace, quickly moving towards Greek Macedonia. And then the rest of the areas of Greece or whatever they want to be. I don't care. And well, the Balkans in trouble, but Bulgaria and Greece and Romania and Serbia launch a counteroffensive, which pushes Turkey back. But the nation most in trouble is Greece, as they lose Crete. Well, a Turkish landing in the south not being repelled. This is Athens. With Romanian and Serbian troops flooding into Bulgaria, helping stale the front. But they're not working in Greece, as this full island falls. And well, slowly the troops start gearing towards Athens, which leads to a big breakthrough in the north. Until Croatian troops and Hungarian troops and the rest of the troops start advancing to push them back. And during this is when Turkey's offensive succeeded and took Athens. With their mobilization already completed, that's how they got troops there. With the front line basically stalling out for a bit, the Turks take the opportunity to make an offensive into Bulgaria. With them already taking Plovdiv, isn't that right there? Unless I change names. And then they meet up these two fronts, which leads to a Serbian offensive over in this area. Keep Bulgaria's capital safe, and well, Romanian troops to keep the coast safe. But this is where the beginning of the fall of Greece happens, with Greece having to surrender over these lands. And over here, they start advancing into Macedonia and Albania, which leads to a Serbian-Romanian offensive. Well, at this point, a massive movement is made as they take multiple cities, including encircling the capital, which they take a few weeks after. With Bulgaria forced to surrender, Serbian troops rush in to capture as much as they can. Same with Romanian. Which leads them only to take small amounts. Well, Albania surrendered, but luckily they occupy the north, same with Macedonia. A breakthrough happening in Macedonia, which leads to a big front in Serbia, Kosovo, or Serbia also. And well, a bit of a pushback happens in the north. And well, Romania starts getting in more trouble as Turkey focuses on them. And they make an encirclement to Bucharest. And they manage to take Bucharest, and then quickly after they take the coast. A Romanian counteroffensive is launched, but it fails to do most of its goals, and instead it just pushes back over here. But with a struggle, a new offensive is launched. The offensive moves up into Montenegro, with Bosnia helping hold it back. It's Bosnia and Herzegovina, but who cares about the Herzegovina? And then they take some cities, with them deciding to move into Moldova. And Transnistria, apparently. They like to occupy an area occupying land. With Romania soon getting flooded in by Hungary. With Hungary managing to do this. Yeah, and then they do this. And this is where the stalemate starts. With Serbia losing more land. And Bosnia's in trouble. With a Croatian offensive happening. And the Bosnian, leading to this. Which leads to this. They started advancing over there, as Croatia is in trouble. Bosnia is forced into surrender and quickly occupied by Turkey, which leads to an offensive up here, with them moving in and capturing Belgrade. And then, quickly after, they move into Slovenia, without taking Zagreb yet, which they encircle and take. This is where a few nations are forced to surrender. And Turkey surrenders to Hungary. No, I'm kidding. With Hungary in trouble, Hungary refuses to surrender, but is forced to. Let's see the peace treaty. East Montenegro, Albania, Northern Macedonia, Bulgaria being annexed into Turkey. Them annexing parts of Romania and parts of former Yugoslav nations, leading a nice puppet, except they lost their coast. And Hungary gets some land. Romania gets to annex Moldova, although losing land. Turkey's the only nation that got a game while losing. And that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe.